So, my name's Lena. I'm 26 now, but this story starts when I was 17. Back then, I believed my parents were my safety net. They always told me, "Don't worry, we've been saving for your college since you were a kid. Just focus on your future." And I did. I worked my butt off, not just in school but at part-time jobs too. I stayed up late cramming, joined every club I could, built up my resume, all because I thought, okay, they've got my back. I just need to earn the opportunity. Senior year, I got my acceptance letter to my dream college. I was so proud I actually printed it and laid it on the dinner table like a trophy. I thought this was going to be the moment they finally looked at me like I mattered, but instead, my mom glanced at it, nodded, and said, almost casually, "We've decided to use the college savings for Liza instead." Liza, my little sister, 14 at the time, with everything handed to her on a silver platter. She smirked like she just won a prize and said, "Well, I guess I'm the better investment." My dad added, "You're strong. Lena, you'll achieve more if you do it all on your own." I sat there, frozen. They'd promised me for years, and now, just like that, they were giving everything to Liza. So all worked. Nights, weekends, double shifts at a cafe, lugging boxes at a warehouse, taking out loans I'm still paying off. Every exam I passed felt like a rebellion. Every step forward, I told myself, they don't get to decide my worth. Meanwhile, when Liza finally hit college age, she blew through the entire fund in 1 year. Parties, new gadgets, trips with her friends, until she dropped out. The investment was gone. Fast forward a few years. I'd graduated on my own. I had a steady job, an apartment I paid for myself, and for once, I was proud. But the real twist, that came at my parents' 30th wedding anniversary party. The house was packed, relatives, neighbors, family, friends. Everyone was raising their glasses, congratulating my parents for raising such successful daughters. My mom, beaming, started bragging we sacrificed so much to give Liza opportunities. She's the shining star of this family. I stood up. My hands were shaking, but my voice wasn't really. Because the truth is, you didn't sacrifice a thing. I did. The room went dead silent. My uncle actually dropped his fork. I pulled out a folder I'd brought with me, bank statements, loan documents, tuition receipts, everything I had kept. I laid them right on the table. For years, I worked 2 jobs. I took out loans. I bled for an education you promised me would be covered. Meanwhile, you gave everything to Liza, who wasted it. And you never once acknowledged what I did. My mom's face turned pale. My dad muttered, "You're humiliating us." And I said, "No, you humiliated me when you decided I wasn't worth investing in." Tonight, I'm just telling the truth. Liza tried to jump in, rolling her eyes. "Oh, stop being so dramatic, Lena." So I looked right at her and said, "You lived off my future. You wasted it. And everyone here deserves to know." The room was buzzing, people whispering, eyes darting between us. My mom actually started crying, begging me to sit down. But I didn't. For the first time in my life, I wasn't the quiet, invisible daughter. I was the one holding the mic. And here's the thing, walking out of that house that night, I didn't feel guilty. I felt free because I'd finally exposed the truth. So let me ask you, if your parents promised you a college fund but gave it all to your sibling instead, what would you do? Would you stay silent, or would you call them out in front of everyone? Make sure to drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this. So, like I told you, I walked out of my parents' anniversary party after exposing them in front of everyone. But here's where things really took a turn. See, I didn't just keep receipts for myself. I had every document neatly organized. The statements from my student loans, proof of every tuition payment, every paycheck I'd cashed from those endless night shifts. I even had screenshots of text messages where mom literally told me, "Don't worry, we're saving everything for your future." And you know who else saw them? The neighbors. The ones who always whispered about how lucky Liza was and how proud my parents must be. The whispers flipped overnight. By the next week, word was spreading fast. At church, people started asking questions. So, if Lena paid for everything, why were you bragging about sacrificing for Liza? My parents tried to laugh it off, but the gossip was relentless. Then came the biggest blow. Liza's old high school friends found out. Someone posted on Facebook about how I had worked 2 jobs while Liza blew through thousands of dollars on parties. It got shared a lot. Comments started pouring in. Wow, golden child syndrome much. Poor Lena, carrying the family while they treated her like trash. My parents' reputation, their favorite thing in the world, cracked wide open. But it didn't stop there. 2 months later, I got a letter from the bank addressed to me. Turns out, part of the college fund had come from a special savings account in my name that my parents had quietly drained without telling me. And legally, that counted as misuse of funds. So when they got dragged into court over unpaid debt, I showed up. I sat quietly in the back while their lawyer tried to paint them as devoted parents under stress. Then the judge asked if anyone had evidence about the disputed funds. I stood, my folder in hand, my voice steady. Yes, Your Honor, I do. I laid out everything, the withdrawals, the text messages, the years of my payments. My parents sat there red-faced, unable to say a word. And the judge, he didn't hold back. It seems to me this young woman has been more responsible than either of you. The case went forward. And let's just say, my parents walked out doing more than they ever expected. As for Liza, oh, she wasn't the star anymore. When people heard she'd burned through the college fund and dropped out, she became a walking punchline. Even her social media followers started turning on her. Entitled brat was the nicest thing they called her. Meanwhile, I was climbing my way up. Debt still heavy, yeah, but free of their control. And for once, the whole world saw the truth. I wasn't the disappointment. I was the one who kept everything afloat. And honestly, watching my parents squirm under the same judgment they'd thrown at me all my life, it was the closure I didn't know I needed. So let me ask you, if you had the chance to expose your parents' favoritism in court or in front of the whole community, would you do it? Or would you walk away quietly and let karma do the work? Hit subscribe if you'd like to hear more stories like this, and tell me in the comments, what would you have done?